Okay, now we're recording. So November 3rd, 2022, 2:33 p.m. Can I have a motion to approve the minutes from October 6th, 2022?
So moved.
A second?
Second, Glenn.
Thank you. Any comments or questions on the minutes from October 6th? All in favor, please raise your hand.
Okay, we're good.
Lower. Any opposed? Okay, thank you. Those minutes have passed. Moving on to the items for today. Items, can I have a motion to approve items 22-132, AST 101, and 22-133, AST 102? There are two courses that have been revised. Can I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Thank you. And I know that Cullen is here to present these two items. We have revisions of astronomy classes, revised description, textbook topics, and learning outcomes. Cullen, do you have anything to comment on these two?
I'm just updating them to be more in line with the way the class is actually executed, specifically changing the laboratories that were done in Astronomy 102. I saw a thing that said it can't hear me. Can you guys hear me?
I could hear you.
Okay.
Anybody else? Thank you, Michael.
Okay. But yeah, so that was my original attempt, but when I submitted them, apparently there was some hidden stuff in there, like the updating the textbooks and whatnot that had not been done in a long time. And so there's a few residual things that need to be fixed on it as well. So mostly it's just updating them to be more in line with the current practice.
Thank you. And I do believe you updated the course learning outcomes for both?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. And any questions for him? Okay. All in favor of revisions of Astronomy 101 and 102, please raise your hand.
Okay, we're good.
And lower your hands. Any opposed? Okay, and those two items have passed, and Michael is here just in the nick of time. We are moving on to items, can I have a motion to approve items 22-134 through 22-141? They are 2 revised courses and 6 revised curriculum in the CIS area. Motion to approve, please.
So moved.
A second?
Second.
Thank you. I'm going to just do a quick rundown of this, and then Michael will have a chance to speak on it. I'm going to start with the 2 course revisions. You should see CIS 108 on your screen right now. It is a new course. 22-135 CIS 108, Introduction to Python. This is a new course. It is 3 credit hours, 2 lecture, 2 lab. The curriculum that Michael has put this course into was all revised. So we'll see 6 revised curriculum based off of this new course. We also have a course revision of item 22-134 CIS 103, Android Platform Application Development 1, and I do believe the 1 is being removed. The title is changed, therefore course description and prerequisite is changed. Prerequisite was CIS 120, it's now CIS 120 or CIS 108. And then we have the associated curriculum with this, items 22-136 C207A Computer Information AAS, 22-137 C207F Computer Network and Telecommunication Systems AAS, 22-138 C207S Cybersecurity and Information Assurance AAS, 22-139 C407J Web Design and Technology Certificate, 22-140 C407V Database Systems Certificate, and 22-141 C515C Windows Programming Advanced Certificate. So those 6 have been revised due to the changes in the, well, I should say the change in CIS 101 and the new course CIS 108. Okay, Michael, would you like to comment on those?
Sure. Just a quick summary of what the changes were. CIS 103 is a course that we've had for quite a while. It was required in a program that no longer exists, but there's still a lot of demand for those skills. So we revised the course, updated the content, the materials, and we're adding it into a couple of our surviving programs in places where it naturally fits. CIS 108 is primarily a response to the demand for Python skills. It's the most in-demand programming language in the world right now, and we didn't officially have anything in our catalog for it. So this course is being created as an introductory level, so it's roughly equivalent to our CIS 121, which is our introduction to programming. The primary difference between the two is the programming language that they use for demonstration. So that was why all these programs were modified to accommodate 108, so that students have a choice of using 108 as their fundamental programming course or 121.
Farzan?
Hi, so I have a question. So students now have a choice between 2 programming languages. Uh, I'm planning to introduce a similar course, which would be, it used to be CIS 195, Programming for Engineers using MATLAB. It's sort of like trying to bring it back rather than SCIS. It would be EGR, Engineering 195. Do you think we'd be able to run that in parallel now that we have these 2 courses? Just comment, like, your course is totally fine. I was just thinking how MATLAB would stand besides these 2 other courses.
Well, I think it would be fine, especially for engineering. I think MATLAB is probably more appropriate.
What is the title of the course that what is the title of course you are thinking about, Farzan?
It's called Programming for Engineers using MATLAB.
Math Lab?
Yeah, MATLAB without the H in it, just matrices
Okay.
with MATLAB. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Well, the question sometimes comes up if there's a specialty or a specific field that the course might demand to have a specificity above and beyond something that's more general that we already have. So, my question then to Michael would be, do we have something like this? And is it too specific where we would need a more tailored course for specifically engineers?
For engineers, well, I don't know. I think it's a good idea to have one specific for engineers because, I mean, they're going to have, like specific objectives, right? Specific requirements that might not necessarily apply to just general application programmers. So to me, it seems to make sense that there would be a specialized version.
Okay. And you have CIS 195 right now, Michael?
We haven't offered it in the whole time I've been here, but it does exist. Okay. I don't think we've officially removed it.
Do you happen to know the title of that?
Not off the top of my head, but I think it might have been something about programming for engineers.
It's called server-side programming, I think, or something. No, that's 192. Sorry.
It was something else. It was. Yeah, I don't have it off the top of my head, and I'm not seeing it on my list.
Okay. No, that's fine. I didn't mean to put you on the spot. That's fine. I know that you have a ton of classes. I would just say that we want to discuss then amongst Michael and Farzan and the curriculum office whether the CIS 195 could be revised or if a new course is necessary. But obviously the expedited way would be to revise CIS 195 and changing the prefix, which we actually have a situation like that right now, and then reviewing the topics and topical learning outcomes and assessments and such. That would be the expedited way, but I would encourage Farzan and Michael to speak about that, and Jennifer as well. Thank you, Jennifer. Go ahead. I don't know. Jennifer, did you want to comment?
Sorry, my microphone was on, and then when you said that, I turned it off because I thought, but anyway, sorry. Yeah, that title actually is Programming for Engineers, but it was withdrawn in 2018. So it would just be a new course that would have to be created. You can't revive a withdrawn course. You could,
Right.
but not really with the same number or name. I don't think that's not a good practice.
No, I don't recall that being the case. I know Susie said if there was something inactivated, we could bring it back within a certain time period. But if it was
the
officially
programs,
withdrawn.
courses are different.
Yeah. Okay, so then we're looking at a new course. However, you could certainly check back with what we had, and Susie might have a copy if Michael does not, of the course that was withdrawn, to review that and see what topics were on there. All right.
Yeah.
Any other comments? Oh, go ahead, Susie.
Farzan does have a copy of it. The only way it could be reactivated is if it has basically the same outcomes. It's similar to the course that was withdrawn. So if it's much different, it's better to develop a new course.
A new one.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other comments on that topic or the CIS 2 courses, 6 revisions of curriculum? All right, all in favor of 22-134 through 22-141, please raise your hand. 1 course revision, 1 new course, 6 revised curriculum.
We're good.
Lower your hands. Any opposed? That item has passed. That group of items have passed. All right. Next we have, can I have a motion to approve 22-142 through 22-147? We have 1 revised course, 4 revised curriculum. Can I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Okay, and I'll just briefly comment, and then Justina is here. We have 22-142 is BUS 102, Small Business Accounting. I do believe is changing to ACC 102, so the prefix is changing, and the title is going to be, I have Accounting QuickBooks, so let me see what I have here. Ooh, I went to the wrong way. BUS 102. Title is changing to Accounting with QuickBooks, I believe is the official name. Then we have 5 curriculum that are being revised with the to reflect those changes. And the curriculum is item 22-143 C306A Accounting Assistant Certificate, 22-144 C307D Executive Administrative Assistant Certificate, 22-145 C406D Entrepreneurship Certificate, 22-146 C407D Administrative Assistant Certificate, and 22-147 C416A Bookkeeping Certificate. So it does say that there's let's see. C307D is moving from 30 to 28 credit hours. And I'm not sure why the C407D is listed as a major change. Oh, the total program credits, excuse me. The total program credit is moving from 17 to 18 on that particular C407D. All right, so Justina is here to present the 1 course and the 5 curriculum.
Juliana, that'll be me.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
It's okay. Well, first of all, I want to publicly thank Justina and Gretchen who drove these changes to these certificates. So I want to thank them for their work on it as well. They did a lot of good work on it. We did change the Business 102 to the ACC designation. Justina did quite a bit of work in looking to see what our peer institutions, how they had this course designated. It's been small business since I've been here, but it really needs to be in the accounting side. And it's really a QuickBooks class. So I think we've appropriately changed the designation and also the title of it to Accounting with QuickBooks, which is primarily what they do in that course. So that really drove the changes to most of them. The Accounting Assistant Certificate was because of that change from the Business 102 to the Accounting 102. The Executive Assistant Certificate, we changed the name on that to an Executive Assistant Certificate, took out the administrative part of it. And then we also added a few courses, Business 151 and Business 285, Project Management, and deleted 103, 104, and Business 125. So those changes were done as well. The Entrepreneurial Certificate, the C406D, that change was because of the Business 102 changing to Accounting 102 and with the name change. The next one was the C407D. That also had a name change from Administrative Assistant Certificate to Program Assistant Certificate. 2 courses were added, 131 and 141, and then we deleted AC 200, 103, and 104. So that was the change there. And the last one, the Bookkeeping Certificate, C416A, again, was because of the change from Business 102 to now the designation of ACC 102, and the course changed to Accounting with QuickBooks. So Justina, again, and Gretchen did a great job on those, and we were able to catch up with some things we wanted to do in the past. Plus, I think we have the right designation for the Accounting with QuickBooks class now.
Okay, great. I do want to hear again the new titles for the 2 major program changes. I see 407D. Is it you said, is it Program Assistant?
The 407D is Program Assistant Certificate now.
Okay, and C307D, what is the new title?
307D, let me just check here, is now Executive Assistant Certificate.
Okay, so administrative is the word that's gone.
Correct.
Okay, great. Any questions? Any further questions for Dr. Griffin on these? Jennifer?
I just wanted to confirm that when this new course, or well, once the prefix is changed, that those 2 can be set up as equivalents. We don't want students repeating a class that they already had, thinking it's a new course of different, significantly different content.
Right. What is the plans with Business 102?
So sorry about that. The content will not change. We are already using a textbook that is called Accounting with QuickBooks. So the learning objectives, the content will not be changing. It was just an inappropriate name that was originally assigned to the class. So definitely whoever has taken BUS 102 does not have to take ACC 102. This is literally the same class.
Okay, so our question then becomes, so it's the revision. So BUS 102 is just going to
replace.
Be gone, essentially.
Right, yeah, it's going to be gone.
Yep, it's gone.
Okay.
Right, I just wanted it in the minutes so it gets programmed in colleagues, so those 2 are equated so that they are not going to be allowed to be repeated.
Yes, when they're put into colleague, they are equated.
Perfect, thank you.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I understand now the situation. So if someone already took Business 102, we don't want them retaking then ACC 102.
Absolutely not.
Okay, thank you, Jennifer. Any comments or questions on the items that we're discussing right now? Any further? Okay, all in favor, please raise your hand.
Okay, we're good.
And lower your hands. Any opposed? Okay, thank you very much. I do see lots of new and exciting things happening both in business as well as in CIS with Michael. That's great. Thank you. We are moving on to item 22-148, HIA 150 revision. Can I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Okay, second?
Second.
Great. We have revised course of food preparation essentials and theory. The class was 3 lecture hours. It is now 1 lecture hour and 4 lab hours, so it still remains 3 total credits. However, the labs were added into it. So 1 lecture, 4 lab. I just want to mention before this is presented, and who is here to present this today?
I guess that would be me.
Okay, Jennifer, thank you. I just want to mention when the total credit hours change, total credit hours do not change, but there's a revision of the lecture and lab just to make sure that the time, the seat time, which is what we'll talk about in a few more moments, that the seat time reflects that as well. And I'm sure you know that when we're looking at the schedule that the time allotted for the class has to reflect the topical hours in the course. Michael?
Julianne, did you say the hours haven't changed? Because according to this, it has.
The
Lecture went from 3 to 1, so that's down 2. Lab 0 to 4 is up 4, so it would be up 2.
The total credit is not changed, but the contact time is.
Right.
Okay.
The total credit will remain 3, 1 lecture, and 4 lab. Does that make sense, Michael?
No. That's
So
not
each
how math
lab,
works.
okay,
There's probably something here I don't understand. That's fine.
for every 2 lab hours, it's 1 total credit hour.
Oh, okay. I get it. All right. Now I didn't know that. Thank you. Sorry.
Okay, and actually, we're going to go over that as another item as well.
Yeah, that's a good
But,
idea. Thanks.
Unless I am interpreting something incorrectly, that's what I have in my notes. 3 total credits, 1 lecture, 4 lab.
If 4 labs is 2 credits, then yeah, you're good.
Yep.
Sorry.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Any comments or questions? Or Jennifer, would you like to comment on this?
It's just one of those things we discussed at the advisory committee, and based on the course being food preparation, they feel strongly that they need to actually prepare some food, and so that's what they've changed it to.
Sounds like a good idea.
I mean, it's the essentials. It is some theory, but it's more hands-on than it wasn't than it should be.
So with this being 5 of lecture lab, so that would be a significant increase in time. So it would be another 30 minutes, right? Excuse me, 30 hours of class time.
Right, 2 a week, yep.
Okay. Any comments or questions for her on this before we vote? All in favor, raise your hand.
Okay, we're fine.
And lower your hands. Any opposed? That item has passed. Can I have a motion to approve item 22-149 through 22-154? It is 6 deleted courses.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Okay. You do see the courses on your screen right now. 22-149 is CHN 102, Elementary Chinese. 22-150, HIS 155, History of Afro-American in the United States. 22-151, Humanities 105, Humanities through the Arts 2. 22-152, SPN 118, Study Travels in Hispanic Countries. 22-153 SPN 190 Career Spanish, 22-154 SPN 296 Special Topics in Spanish. Those are the proposed deleted courses, and Bill is here to present those. Bill, can you comment on those, please?
Of those 6 courses, 2 of them are likely to come back in the future as new courses. That would be the Chinese 102 and the History 155. The Chinese 102, we can't really do any updating or changing until we actually have Chinese faculty. And that has proven to be a major issue in the last 3 to 5 years, finding even adjuncts who are qualified to teach these Chinese courses. And certainly no one else in our department is qualified to update those courses. So until then, we're going to have to remove it from the curriculum. History 155 basically is so far out of date, it's ridiculous. So as you can see by the course title alone, it needs major updating. So that is likely to come back in the future. Those other courses, as long as they have been on the curriculum, they have never been run. So it's time to remove those, and if necessary, we can bring them back. But given that we are talking about overseas travel and things of that nature, given the current environment, that's probably not something that's going to happen in the foreseeable future.
Okay, of the other 4.
Yes.
Yes. HIS 155 was an IAI course.
Yes.
Okay, so if it does come back, I would just encourage that to remain at
Yes.
IAI.
No, it will come back as an IAI. Yes.
Okay, thank you. CHN 101, is that currently being offered?
It is not on the schedule at the moment because we don't have any adjuncts.
Okay. Any further comments or questions on these 6 deletions?
I just want to say that these courses were all on the slide that you and Susie shared at the end of the curriculum committee meeting every month about courses that have not been addressed for a while. So Bill and his team have done a lot of work to delete these based on that. So we've been in conversation for a while, and I just want to thank Bill and his department for doing the work on these.
Now there's still one more Spanish course that Maxie is working on that is being updated, but this basically clears the board.
Okay, that's good news. Okay, if there's no further questions, let's take the vote. All in favor of the 6 deletions, please raise your hand.
We're fine.
And lower your hands. Any opposed? And those items have passed. Thank you. Okay, so moving on to other items. Before we do get to them, the deadline for the December 1st meeting, it is December 1st, right, Susie? I just want to double check. December 1st meeting, I'm sorry. The deadline is November 7th for that meeting. If there's nothing that needs to be, or immediate need to be in the December meeting, feel free to hold off until the spring when Watermark is up and running in a more efficient fashion. We do have some items that have already been submitted for December 1st. We had a few items that were submitted on Word documents and a few items that were submitted in Watermark. So we're actually, for the December 1st meeting, working with both modes of submission at this time. Definitely communicate with Susie over the next day or two if you feel you have an item that's coming forward within your departments that is pressing and needs to be at that December 1st meeting. After this semester, so starting in spring, we're only using Watermark, no Word documents. I know a couple people might have missed that for the December 1st meeting, and we still took those on the Word documents, but then for the future, we're looking just at Watermark. And I'll mention this again, when you're working with Watermark, we are doing our work in Curriculum Strategy tab. Once you get into the Curriculum Strategy tab, there's two options. You could do curriculum work or syllabus work, okay? And then there's 4 forms, 2 in each of those tabs. Curriculum forms, course forms is in the curriculum tab, and then master syllabus, sectional syllabus is in the syllabus tab. If we think about the old course outline, it's really split. The old course outline is partly under course forms and partly under master syllabus. The information from the old course outline that is printed in the catalog is under course forms. And then the information that is not in a printed catalog, such as the assessment or topical learning outcomes, individual topics, topical hours, that's under master syllabus. Just to review that once again. For other items, I'm going to briefly talk about A and B. Right off of this slide here. But for notification to dual credit office, if you do have a course that is being revised or curriculum in which there's a change in a course or a change in credit hours or title or what might be, that is being offered at the high school. If we do have a course that's being offered at the high school and something dramatic changes in the course, we need to alert the dual credit office so that they could make sure that the same material is taught when it becomes effective in a particular semester at the high school. So if a topic changes, topical learning outcome changes, credit hours change, course title change, whatever it may be that is pertinent, then we have to make sure the high schools reflect that change. So you could alert the dual credit office. Tony Johnson is the head of the dual credit office right now. Any other comments on that? Tony is doing a lot of work to make sure that there is that the course at the high school is reflective of what we're doing at the college, meaning that the master syllabus, the course form, is exactly what's being taught at the high school. That's exactly what we need to be teaching in our classroom, and then the same thing at the high school level. Okay? No early comments on that? Just make sure to alert, if you're a department chair, alert that office when things need to be addressed. For other item B, proper seat time on campus and online. So we have to make sure that the students are in the classroom, both on campus and online for the mandated allotted amount of time from the ICCB. 1 total credit hour, I should have put the word total here to help, but 1 total credit hour is 15 topical hours in the class. No, I shouldn't have put the word. I actually wrote this right. Total shouldn't be there. It's just 1 credit hour is 15 topical hours in the classroom. I actually wrote that correctly. I'm sorry. 1 lecture hour equates to 1 total credit hour, and that's 15 hours of seat time. 1 lab hour is actually 1/2 of a total credit. Okay? Considering it's 1 lab hour, it's still 15 hours of seat time, even though it's only 1/2 total credit. In order to get 1 total credit for labs, we would have to have 2 lab hours. That equates to 1 total credit hour, and that's actually 30 hours of seat time. So a couple of things, we can use the example from today. I believe it was 1 lecture hour and 4 lab hours. So if we have 4 lab hours, that actually equates to 2 total credit hours. Total credit hours. That's 60 hours of seat time. 4 labs is 60 hours of seat time. The 1 lecture hour would be 1 total credit, 15 hours of seat time. So that particular course, the I don't remember the number. That would be 75 hours. I could certainly look that up. I want to make sure that I have that right. It's HIA 150. That would actually be 75 hours of seat time. Okay, it could be confusing. You may need to jot notes down here, or we check it in the curriculum office, obviously, that the credit hours are correct. But if you're someone new coming in and you're going off the master syllabus and you're looking at the topical hours, this is how things are calculated. From my understanding, I mean, every course that we go through in the curriculum office and the curriculum committee complies with the correct seat time. If we saw something that was wrong, then we usually address that before a vote. But then the most important thing is that the student is in the classroom the proper amount of time. So when you're looking over your schedule, making sure that the start and end time is appropriate for that particular course. The same thing needs to be done in online courses, and this is something that we're talking about a lot at the college right now. If you have an exclusively online class, say it is 3 total credit hours, all 3 are lecture, that's 45 hours of seat time. We have to make sure that the student is completing the online work 45 hours, that would equate to 45 hours of seat time, and also homework above and beyond that as well. Just like we have a student in the classroom, say it's for Rhetoric 101, and they're doing 45 contact hours sitting in the classroom and the teacher is instructing in the classroom, they still go home and do homework on the outside. So for every hour in the classroom, Susie, what is it? Or maybe Jennifer knows, how many hours of homework for every total credit hour in the classroom? It's something like 6 to 9, I believe.
For every credit hour, it's 2 hours outside of the classroom.
Okay, for every credit hour, it's 2 hours outside of the classroom, and that's homework. So for a 3 credit hour class, it would be 6 hours of homework time. And that's per week?
So it's not called homework, it's just considered support. It could be reading, it could be a variety of things. Studying, all of that, yeah.
Okay.
Julianne, I see that you have online when you talk about proper seat time on campus and online.
Yes.
This may tie into your next topic of online course development. HLC looks very closely at online courses to determine how does seat time equate to a face-to-face class. You know, certainly if you're giving a lecture on campus, that would be different than doing the same thing in an online format if you had the PowerPoint up or something like that. There's actually an estimator that Gretchen and her committee will be using to look at courses, and we'll share that pretty soon, where you can actually go in and kind of make sure that your online course is the proper amount of time, as we say it's supposed to be, because doing things face-to-face would be different than how you would do it online, like how much time is considered for a discussion question, or how much time if you have somebody read 15 pages versus 60 pages, how much time do you allot for that when you're talking about time on task in a class? So there are estimators out there. They're just kind of looking to see which would be the best one to use at this point in time.
I would appreciate, once the college decides which is the estimator that we'll be using, that you could share that with me. I've been wanting to have that information for a while. When I developed my online classes years ago, it's been a while, I did have an estimator, but somehow I've lost track of that and haven't been able to access that again. So I'm really looking forward to being able to utilize that.
And I would say, I would suspect that's going to be something we have to address in our upcoming HLC review of the college as well, and online. Things to come.
Right. And as faculty of online, then we could use that tool. I would highly encourage everyone to just to reflect on your courses, not necessarily only meeting the the minimum amount of seat time, but making sure it's not way too much. And I feel like, because I've had mine for a while, I want to add new things that are exciting, but then it can't be overwhelming, right, in terms of time that the student is in there. So maybe making sure we're not going way above and beyond that as well. Any other comments on seat time? Okay, we will move on to the next. And actually, the next one is online course development. You will see on your screen that there are 6 online classes that are listed here as being developed. And I think it's this fall, maybe Allie can help me out here. Fall of 22, meaning they're being developed right now. Is that correct, Allie?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Oh, okay, good, because I wasn't sure. I would try to use my mic earlier and I couldn't. So it's being developed for the spring.
Okay, and you're developing it now.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then they will be run in spring of 23?
Yeah. The
Okay.
118 class, yeah.
Yeah.
233 is being developed in the spring
Okay.
for the fall, and so is 121. So the only class that's being developed right now is 118. And then in the
Okay,
spring, 121 and 233 will be developed.
Okay. Yes, I understand. Thank you.
Yep.
So there we have it. It looks like 3 are being developed right now this fall. The first 3 CE, CE 118, CIS 176, CIS 179. Actually, Justina is commenting that there should have been another one. Let me look at that. ACC 252 is being developed now for spring of 23.
Yeah, Justine, are you still out there? Yeah, she's developing.
Yes, I
it.
am. Yeah,
Yeah.
it should be on the list. Yep.
Okay. Okay, so I will add that before I post that in the Blackboard shell that we have right now.
Thank you very much.
So ACC 252 will be offered in spring of 23. And then we have an update of an online class, CIS 174. Looks like it will be updated in spring of 23 and then offered that following fall. Anticipated. Okay, thank you. Then we have outstanding courses. We can see that the list is very low. I hope I counted right. It looks like 17. Just a visual of that. And then I'm not doing a formal training on Watermark today, but I just have a couple more announcements just in case this refreshes your mind, or if the deans could potentially share this at their department meetings. I'm sorry, at the department chair meetings. The link for Watermark is in the portal. It's under the curriculum page in the portal, and the kind of middle right-hand side. There's a table, and it's Watermark login for curriculum. So it's under the curriculum page in the portal for people to access that. If you're logged into your email, it should be an automatic login once you click that link in the portal. I do have a lot of training materials that I showed you last time in the curriculum shell of Blackboard. There's PowerPoints, there's long and short videos. There's one video for each form that I have. There's 2 tip sheets. One tip sheet is how to update your course learning outcomes. Another one is how to update and review your master syllabus. So there are tip sheets step by step that will walk you through that. We do have the recorded videos from both September and actually October 6th. We have the videos from that meeting, and that's pretty much a good hour of training. If you decide you want to listen to me that long, those are in there. But the shorter videos are of access and value as well. It's vital if a faculty has not been in Watermark, I really think it's vital that they try to get in before the fall semester ends, because I will be around to answer a couple of questions at that point in time, but we're using it exclusively in the spring. If you're doing assessment work, you're already using Watermark, it's under the Planning and Self-Study tab. If you're doing curriculum work, it's going to be under the Curriculum Strategy tab, just like I had mentioned to you when we were doing the dates and deadlines. Dr. Griffin?
Just a comment, Julianne. And we talked to you and Susie. We're hoping to come to the curriculum with our cannabis business certificate in December. And we did start out and do it in Watermark, and you guys suggested we complete it in the Word document, which was fine. But I just want to comment, because we did do some of the work there. We found it very user-friendly. I mean, I thought it was extremely user-friendly, so I just wanted to throw that out to you. Unless some changes are going to be made, and it looked really good. It looked really good.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you saying that. It should be much simpler. You're only changing, right? You're only revising whatever you need to. You don't have to go through the whole form each time. If it's a minor revision, say it's one topical learning outcome, you change that, hit save, and you're done. Make sure you hit save. Even say you're editing a document and then you changed 4 words and you hit save and you thought you were done and you should have changed 5 instead. You change that 5th word, you have to hit save again. So I can't stress that enough. Just keep hitting save. But I ran through my revisions, and I have 4 or 5 revisions coming in December, and I ran through them much quicker than I would if I was using Word documents. So
yeah,
I agree with you.
Yeah, I saw Susan's comment. I'll check with my agent, Susan, so we'll get back to you.
Thank you for saying that. Don't be intimidated. I think it's going to be much easier for the submitters. I think reviewing, once you get in there and do the reviewing, you'll find that that's even going to be easier. What I want to convey with the review, because we're on the curriculum committee or TRC, you're making comments on the watermark page. We have to make sure that our submitters who are submitting items in watermark go back to the watermark page when they have a submission to read the comments from TRC and CCC members. We used to do that in Blackboard. It's not going to be done anymore. So we have to make sure that the submitters are going back to read the notes that CCC and TRC are making. I'm going to say for spring, when we're using this, I would like everyone to make a note, even if it is looks good. But I do want you to make a note to get used to making that note so that the submitter also knows that it's been looked at by you. But note that for CCC members or TRC, you're not to hit that approve button yet. We're still working through how we're going to use that long term, but short term, the curriculum office is hitting the final approval button on curriculum. So, so reviewers are just making comments right now. Okay. I think Bill Justice has his hand up.
Yeah, the with watermark, if we're going to do that and just use that for the TRC, I'd recommend that we actually put hard dates now. Instead, so instead of me going, I'm not going to be able to go on, if I'm sending a batch of 20 courses to curriculum or something, we got to set a hard date that if there's any comments after that date, they're going to be ignored, because just to make this work and flow easier, because there's no way, in the past, it was probably a little easier in Blackboard, but to do it with this mechanism, playing with it a little, it is easy. But once again, though, we got to really hone in on hard dates for deadlines.
Yes, that will be done. And the good news is, when a comment is made, I do believe the date and time are attached to that. So what we usually do for review process is a Thursday to, I highly encourage it Thursday to Wednesday, but a Thursday to Thursday is the allotted time for review.
Is there going to be a notification email to the submitter that their stuff has, something's been noted on there?
I do believe that the emails are not turned on right now. Actually, Susie, we have to make sure that we email Watermark to turn the emails on once all the course level outcomes and master syllabus have been reviewed, because we don't want 900 emails going out. But once the curriculum office updates all the course level outcomes that are due at the end of fall and all the master syllabus that are due at the end of fall, once those have gone through final approval, we could turn the emails on. Once the email system is turned on in Watermark, every time that there is a change or a submission, an email will be sent to the person that needs to be alerted. We have a workflow that was done for that. I'm going to double check, but I do believe when comments are made that should be alerted with an email as well. But I will double check with Watermark on that particular item.
Will other
emails will start coming.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No. I was just saying, emails will start coming. A submitter will spark an email to the department chair. The department chair will spark an email to the dean, and then once the dean that will email the curriculum office. When the curriculum office puts that on the agenda, I shouldn't say that. When the curriculum office puts that up for review, then it will email all the TRC and CCC members that there's an item to review.
Will there be an will the TRC members be able to see what other TRC members' comments are, or are we going to be limited to just our own?
No, you will see what others say.
Okay.
Yeah, you will see a thread. And you'll see the thread all at once, which is good. You don't have to click open in Blackboard and open in Blackboard to see all of them. You'll see them all at once, so that's good. Any other comments or questions on the review process? We're learning as we go. So we'll see how, I'm sure it's going to be a learning phase in spring. If you're reviewing and you have a comment that you know could make the system better, certainly let Susie and I know, because we can always make a revision on how we're doing things. Or if we have questions, we could try to find the answers to those questions. What I can tell you a lot right now is if Susie asks for Watermark support, she sends an email to Watermark support with a question, their first response is, here is a link, look it over, and Susie opens the link and it's like 400 pages of material. So that's not the most efficient use of time to find the answer to a question. But we will try. You know, faculty can also make an email Watermark support at any time. It doesn't have to only be Susie or I. But I would say, just so we're not sending, you know, 50 emails on the same topic, we could just centralize that. But if it's pressing and you can't get a hold of Susie and I and you need something, you can always email Watermark support as well. Any other comments on that review process? I think it's going to be easier than you anticipate once you start doing that review process. Right now, I've hit on the screen the watermark work that needs to be completed by the end of fall. So we have all of November and a little bit of December to go. So maybe, what, 6 weeks of the semester left. All the course level outcomes should be updated in the watermark system. They used to be 1 to 2 sentences. They need to be bulleted, numbered points. So number 1, number 2, and so forth. I explain on this slide, also in the tip sheet for this, on the tip sheet is in Blackboard Curriculum Shell, how to do this step by step. The second item is to review all the master syllabus. Again, it's on the screen, but there's a tip sheet in the Blackboard Shell on how to review your watermark syllabus. You will have to enter the new instructional strategies. You will most likely have to enter the indirect assessment tools, and then just review all other fields to ensure the accuracy on the master syllabus. And that's what we need to do this fall. And as CCC or TRC members, just go in there and get ready to start looking for the approvals and see where all the fields are at and so forth. There's a compare doc item. It'll show up in red what was changed when we're reviewing things. And if there's any other further questions, please let me know, or comments on that right now. How many of you have gone in there and looked things over? Okay, great. Let us know. It's not the final product, but you know, I think by the end of this spring, in May, we'll have a good grasp of it. And I hope all of us feel the same way, that it's easy to use. Make sure to click save. So I think that is it. So can I have a motion to adjourn the curriculum committee meeting for November 3rd? I believe that's the date we are,
So
2022.
Second.
Okay. Thank you very much, everyone. Have a good afternoon. Thank you. Enjoy the weather.
Thanks, Julianne.
I am going to stop the recording.